Welcome to Branson, Missouri. It is the World Championship of Cornhole Season 17 for the American Cornhole Organization. Center Court is where you find yourselves here in the center of the Cornhole universe. It's been a great week so far and lots to get to, and we've got a lot of good games that we'll be streaming throughout the course of the afternoon and the evening. Some games that we just wanted to make sure that you caught up with. Some of them are for you. Some of them, honestly, are for us, and hopefully you're enjoying that. Should be getting out there to you. And just kind of setting the stage of what's going on here in Branson at the Branson Hilton Convention Center. It has been, like I said, a fun week and lots to get to as we work our way towards Championship Saturday and some great matches. Joining this one already in progress, it is Team Miller, Don and Mary against Randall Garrison, the businessman, and Johnny Thomas, our seniors champion player of the season for Season 17. He took that honor Tuesday night in a hard-fought battle amongst three competitors. It was Bob Heil, it was T-Bone, Terry Dawson, and it was ultimately Johnny Thomas who came out and took the Player of the Season championship and that very special green jersey for seniors for Season 17. All kinds of bag manufacturers and partners here, Pitch and Over the Top, and our friends at BD Bags and more are here. Lucky Bags, Charlie Case and company are here. We've got each of them sponsoring a different session of the Tailgater. Again, a tournament that's been set up so that only non-pros have the opportunity to grab these coveted Tailgater jerseys. Only non-pros have a shot to win this. We went ahead and finished up this one. That was pretty quick, 21-4. We got 21-4 up on the scoreboard. I looked away, and then I looked up, and it was over. I was sitting here bumping my gums about all the fun stuff that's going on around this week. And, well, you saw it with your own eyes. How about that? 21-4, the final. Randall Garrison, Johnny Thomas over Don and Mary Miller in the doubles championship bracket A.
ACO, we are Cornhole.
Welcome to Branson, Missouri, and the American Cornhole Organization World Championships of Cornhole Season 17. We are here on center court giving you the best seats in the house. We're occupying the second best seats in the house. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, side by side with my man, the Mississippi Ninja, Philip Barnett. And Philip, I'll tell you right now, you look out here, I mean, it's like a cornfield out here with Corny 40 players. We've got ourselves one crazy match coming up here in the doubles winners semifinal bracket A.
Absolutely, and we have two great teams that's had a great season, two Top Gun 20 teams. That's what those jerseys are right there, Finn.
Yep.
The Top Gun 20.
Yeah, they are.
And we have another dose of the Hurts.
Well, have we had a match that hasn't involved someone in the Hurt family since we got here?
Even Gracie Hurt made an appearance on our stage.
I know. I spoke to her earlier today. It's Kaleb and Isaac's, who you see out here, their sister, and she didn't have as much fun as it looked like she was having out there. She said the spotlight is not her thing.
Yeah.
These two guys had better get used to it. Isaac and Kaleb Hurt. Kaleb, the older brother, 23 years old. I think Isaac now 13, 14 years old, somewhere in that range. We're not even going to bother with how old their opponents are. Russell Tabers wouldn't tell us.
No.
Craig Ervin is forever young.
Yeah, he's still young, too. And he's trying to get to the championship in two divisions so far. He's already made it in the co-ed.
He has, with his wife, Ashley.
Yes,
we
sir.
saw that match last night. They called him Crashly. They shipped them, and they're already shipped because they're married. But these guys are underway and ready to roll. And this, again, is a doubles winner semifinal in bracket A. And the lower seed, Red Lane, Craig Ervin, and your buddy Russell Tabers already out to an early 4-point lead.
Or as Russell threw four right down the middle. Russell has been playing really, really well as Craig. And we know how good Kaleb is. The X factor in this match could be little Isaac.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we had the opportunity after the match the other night where we got to talk with both the Hurt brothers. We talked about the fact that steadying factor tends to be Kaleb, and the more experimental kind of, I'm not going to say trick shot, but magic act shots will tend to come, and a little more aggressive shots may come from the young man that many
nicely
called Tic Tac. That was nicely dragged in there. And for those who are watching along on the Facebook stream, welcome. Feel free to throw those comments out and about. If you want to watch in high def, don't forget to check the embedded link for the World's 17 at AmericanCornhole.com.
How about the first doubles match? We get the Hurts against Tabers and Ervin. It don't get much better than
That's
that,
pretty
Ben.
good stuff. That's pretty good stuff. And, again, these Top Gun 20 jerseys, so oftentimes these championship jerseys, the coin of the realm. Sure, the money is nice, but the prestige of having these different colored jerseys and those green player of the season jerseys and the Corny 40 jerseys, which are inaugural collector's item jerseys this year for reasons we'll discuss a little bit later on.
This is an airmail right here for him,
Very
by the way.
cool to see. He's coming up. He's going over. He's going in. Ooh,
And he is
swish.
8 bags in a row. That's
in a
my
row.
man, Russell Tabers.
All right, so these guys put another deuce on top. We went from 4-0 to 4-4 to 6-4. And a lot of people are calling this possibly the championship Saturday preview.
Absolutely. It definitely could be. But don't count a few. There's some really good teams still in this tournament and inside the main room.
Absolutely. This is going to be one of those events where I do believe we're going to see amazing independent shots. We're going to see lots of cleanup shots.
Yes,
we're going to see 3 or 4 bag pull shots.
Airmails.
When the air show is already on with Russell, and then we'll see the occasional jinx, which is what we're famous for.
Yeah.
So there you go, right up the middle. You give him the middle, he's going to take the middle. How about that? Craig Ervin's wife, Ashley, steps up, gets some new refreshment.
Hey, what about us, Ashley? Come on.
She's not suffering with everything we say the way she is with every bag he pitches. And, boy, I'll tell you what, she turned a game around the other night that led them to the finals like none I've ever seen. She did a fantastic job.
Gives up 9 in the first round and comes back and throws airmails to win the game. I talked to her in the hall about it. She said when she started that game, she wasn't nervous at all until she threw her first bag. And that happens on center stage. Even these guys could have some jitters going on.
Sure does. Russell actually has pulled one a little bit to the left and opened up that middle for Isaac, who takes advantage of that and turns 6-4 to 8-on-6.
8-6. And so far, Kaleb's been perfect. Russell, with his first miss of the game, gives up 2. And
Well
hello.
done. Well
Sorry,
done.
what can I do?
Well, I got to be honest with you. That is not the first or the last time that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
This afternoon or this evening. Again, we are live from the
wow.
Hilton Branson Convention Center. There's a little bit of a unicorn, as we like to call it, when it happens, coming out of the right paw of Mr. Kaleb Hurt.
Man, we said last night, you get in that lane over there, the right side of that hole, on that board right there, that specific board, and the bag will take off.
It will scoot.
And that was almost another one.
Yeah.
And this could be a 7-spot. Oh, my goodness.
One off the back. That's going to turn 6 into 13 very quickly.
And you talk about a unicorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't see that happen very often against either one of these two individually, and certainly not as a team.
Yeah.
Russel's going to dial it back in up the middle, which he does. Isaac leaves one gettable. Russell only, I was going to say he might go in there without even touching it, but he gave Isaac a great opportunity to clean that up.
Yeah. Boy, Russell is right down the middle, as well as Isaac.
He really is. There's a little opportunity right there for the younger Hurt brother. Nicely done. He recaptures a couple.
Clapping, got his little hat on, green socks.
It's been amazing to watch him mature over the years.
Man, I tell you.
Just nerves of steel, and a guy that he has so many. Wow, how about that? An odd lead bag there from Kaleb, but so many other interests as well. I know he's big into video gaming, and he's got a lot of other things going on as well. I think Kaleb is fully dialed in on finally realizing what everybody thought may have happened the last couple of years, and that's taking that King of Cornhole crown home with him, not just this year, but a number of years.
Absolutely. I think he's came to Branson with a purpose. He's been really focused.
This is almost what you'd call a throwaway bag sort of round right here. Craig took a shot at the airmail there and laid one up on the bottom. What was that, boogie? Oh, nice shot.
Oh, and he picks up two out of that.
Just enough room to get that in there.
I thought Kaleb had dirtied that up just enough he couldn't get in there, but he snuck it in.
Ended up doing that for the wash.
That's all it was.
Actually.
I thought he grabbed two, but that's
he left that bag on the back that our man Boogie calls the dirty diaper, sitting up on, with a loaded bottom.
The dirty diaper. Man, we came up with some sayings this week with Joel Karnick. Plenty
of them. Brackets, as always, are posted on Scoreholio for those who are looking for them. If you've got your account, go in there and take a look at them. ACO World Doubles. The Beast is on board. He's checking us out. Blake Karnick. We mentioned his dad just a moment ago.
Yeah.
All right,
Blake,
there's a
nice
more
picture of himself. $15-10. But do not count the Hurt boys out ever.
Well, I can't believe that's something you'd even have to remind anybody.
There could be one or two people that didn't know who the Hurt brothers were. There we go. And I'm trying to keep them informed.
And once you find out who those people are, they may never pick up a bag.
That's right.
Think that this is what they may be up against. But we certainly encourage anybody that's watching right now, if you think you've got game and you've got a buddy, you've got a buddy, maybe you're out at the tailgate on a NFL Sunday or whatever that may be. You think you're good enough to get out here on this center court? Bring it. That's the whole theme of season 18 and beyond.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Let me tell you something. The last two rounds have been really surprising of Kaleb Hurt, though. 15-10. He's let some points get away as Craig hadn't been dialed completely in.
Well, and most of the scoring coming out of Russell and Isaac's end of the court. It seems like it's a bag for bag mistake for mistake or perfect on perfect coming out of Craig and Caleb's end.
All the Hurts throw the exact same way. The big step, big arm swing, right down the middle. Even Gracie had the same form.
She did that big, long pendulum swing. So the doubles winner semifinal bracket A is the game you're watching right now.
Oh, and that's 4.
That's going to cost him 4 there. And he came in low and hard, and he did exactly what he didn't want to do there, Isaac. But
he got the kick off of Russell's back there that kicked him to the left, kept him from going in.
Wasn't able to follow.
Yeah. And Craig's got some frustration on his face. I don't think he feels like he has thrown his best game in this match, and he's had a lot of bags off. But to his benefit, Kaleb's been off a little bit too now.
Yeah, that certainly has worked
Yeah.
to one another's advantage.
There's
Otherwise, this
another
game
one.
could have been over a lot quicker.
There's the Kaleb we know right there. Bullied Craig out of the way.
19 on 10.
Craig going to go in, hope don't give up 2. And he moved that bag. He was trying to move it.
He did. Oh, Kaleb lets him off the hook.
Man, he has let some points. And I just saw Rex, Caleb's and Isaac's dad, just drop his head into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He
Well,
knows.
you look at Caleb's posture right now. He is he's almost in the MLB catcher's position right now, just thinking to himself what could have been and what should have been. But he'll leave it in Isaac's capable hands to bring it back to him and see what he can pull off.
And so far, Russell has not given him many opportunities to score.
No, he hasn't.
And I'll tell you what, this could be the game if Russell can finish up here. And believe me, Russell knows it too.
Yes, he does. He's throwing these on a string.
Yeah. I think Russell's missed one bag this whole game.
Isaac's trying to block him from just keeping it. He's going to make him shoot it to finish it. No, he's not going to. He's just
I mean, he's got to drag that bag. Nice move by the young man.
He's going to leave it there. All right, they're going to take a moment and look this through. Each team gets 2 timeouts during the course of a match.
And he is frustrated. He's slamming his hat. Mama's over there smiling, taking pictures, though.
Oh, yeah. What bags do they have in their hands there,
The
Philip?
724s is what they're called.
Yeah, in case you missed that, just look at their hats.
Yep. That's how I knew it.
Oh,
and that's
boy.
going to be it.
That's going to do it. Well, I'll tell you what. This doubles winner semifinal out of Bracket A in the World Championships of Cornhole Doubles tournament goes to Russell Tabers and Craig Ervin. It is the Hurt Locker that steps aside here on center court, taking home a 20-10 final loss. And I would tell you that I don't know that anybody, including Russell or Craig, saw that coming.
I didn't see it coming. I can tell you that right now, and I know both these people really well.
Well, it does bode well certainly for Russell and Craig that they were able to, even in light of a couple of different bags pushed off to the side, were able to get it together. Russell's, I think, consistency certainly stabilized that team, and we will see what happens next here on center court. Do we have our next match already set and ready to go? Welcome back to the shores of Lake Taneycomo in Branson, Missouri, here at the Branson Hilton Convention Center. It is the American Cornhole Organization's World Championships of Cornhole Season 17 center court action. Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja, Finn, the Loudmouth, for the ACO as we welcome you back to the action that now involves our Bracket B winners semifinal in the doubles competition. Gavin Kirk and Gary Bearpaw are the lower seed, as Bracy Blanton and Sebastian Barger, the higher seed, running out of the blue lane. Some championship jerseys, pro jerseys, all over center court from now really till the end of the week, I do believe, Philip. And,
Absolutely.
This is going to be another great game where we've got sort of old school versus lots of new school.
Lots of new school, and it's got one team with the old school and a new school. These guys teamed up in Cedar Rapids to make a deep run in that tournament.
Yes, they did.
And
Gary Bearpaw and Gavin Kirk.
Yeah. Gary's partner couldn't make it. He teamed up with Gavin, and they made a deep run.
Yes, they did. So they are now underway, officially ready to roll, fighting to stay in the winner's bracket, not be headed off to the consolation bracket to have to work their way back through, as do Isaac and Kaleb Hurt, who previously had just dropped a game here on center court to Russell Tabers, Craig Ervin, and we are underway on center court. Looking forward to working our way with some great matches towards Saturday and Championship Saturday. We'll cover the schedule for you here in just a moment as far as what we have to look forward to, but Bracy is giving this a little extra thought, a little extra shake. And look at that. Boy, I tell you what, that bag just drips down over his fingers, and it just scoots straight off the board.
They are very, very loose bags made by Charlie Case. Showtime.
Those Luckies.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, you're going to see two of these guys battling each other Saturday in the Juniors Championship, and that is Bracy and Sebastian will be going head-to-head for the World's Junior Championship.
Partners today.
Enemies tomorrow. That's
on
right.
Saturday, for that Juniors Championship. This will be Sebastian, who's collecting his bags right now, his final season in juniors, which many other juniors are pleased to know. The early score, the first penny goes to Bearpaw and Kirk, and Gary Bearpaw, an accomplished horseshoe thrower, just came from the World Championships in horseshoes, where he came in 6th. He took 6th place. He's been in the I think as high as the top 3 in years past. But when I saw him at lunch, he said, "Well, we got 6th," and I said, "Well, that's pretty damn good."
Hey, if you got that much excitement out of Gary Bearpaw, you have done pretty good.
Well, you know, but I will tell you what's interesting. If you think we have a lot of brackets and divisions, check out the World Horseshoe Championships brackets and divisions. That's about a 2 or 3 week process to get through that. And Gary has a very methodical, as we've discussed before, mechanical, very, very consistent throw. And even though he put one out off to the left, Sebastian nice enough to oblige and return to the right. Return the favor off to the right. So again, we stand on 1-0 with Bearpaw and Kirk holding the first bag advantage.
And how about this up-and-coming guy, Gavin Kirk? You don't hear a lot about him, but he throws with the Ervins. He throws with Tyler Amos and guys like that. And you can't do anything but get better when you play with those guys. He actually throws with Bracy a lot too.
Well, and a lot of names that, if you're familiar with the ACO, you're hearing more and more on center court or at the tops of divisions all throughout the competition. If you're not familiar with the ACO and not familiar with Cornhole, trust me, if you decide to get involved, these are names you will come to know very quickly because they do travel as well, and you will find yourself potentially head-to-head or matched up in a bracket against them somewhere or another. So these guys go ahead and give up another deuce. It's a little bit of a sloppy start. I'm a little surprised. I would have thought we would have seen much more consistency, particularly maybe coming out of the red lane. A little more aggressive play out of the blue lane from Bracy and Sebastian. A little more consistency running out of Gary and Gavin.
I'll tell you, we've been seeing Gary throw some different type bags than these Vipers that he's throwing. And that might be affecting him a little bit. Because he's had 2 bags out of play. I don't think he's had 2 bags in the last 6 years out of play.
Yeah. We did begin to wonder if perhaps he had to go have his fuses changed at some point in Cedar Rapids. He was just so mechanical and so methodical and so spot on with every motion and movement. But that one, there just wasn't enough oomph behind that to go ahead and grab that bag in the back. Sebastian obviously doesn't want to urge that one in, so he'll come in low and up front, and he's able to use it as a backdrop and a backstop and a 2-point.
A nice bag by Sebastian. And nice for him to take his time.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of people this week throwing that 4th bag anywhere but where it's supposed to go.
A lot of times not even on the board.
That's right.
So you got a couple here that are laying low. And again, as I look at Bracy and while he's holding these bags, they almost look like they've got liquid in them.
Is that legal?
I
had to ask you that.
I'm going to go ahead and say, without looking at the rule book, no.
Probably not. We might have to ask Eric that one over there.
But I'll tell you what, some of these manufacturers up and over. Oh, how about that? What a great airmail. I was just getting ready to say we're just seeing a low and slow game coming from that side of the court. But that was a really nice airmail. He's going to go up and try to match it. And he's going to come right off the back, and that's not where Bracy Blanton wants to be or where we usually expect him to be out in the, as Boogie calls it, the backyard. Oh boy. And even that's just going to be 1 penny, but he thought he had a little bit of a rhythm and thought he was going to be able to grab maybe that other bag holding on there at the 3 o'clock position. But unfortunately he caught just enough of Bracy's bag to bounce him off the back.
I tell you what, Bracy's been on the struggle bus here to start this match.
Boy.
And Gary has had a bag off every round too.
Well, and I'll tell you something, we've seen Sebastian on center court a couple of times already. This is different. In the other room where the main arena is with 60 courts set up, a lot going on around you. There's a lot of,
Look at this shot.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, it did not hit. It didn't even hit any part of the wood.
Yeah, if you had your sound up on your video device, you heard.
Yeah, here it goes again too.
Going up. And in. How about that? Wow. What a great shot. And again, that's exactly what we've come to expect from Gary. And his facial expression doesn't change no matter what he does. Good, nice clean up there.
Clean.
Up the middle and the clean up there. Nice job. No blood, no foul on that one. And they will turn their weaponry over to their partners to see what happens next coming back.
That was a great round by both guys in that round.
Was.
Those 2 airmails were dead center, and that push by Sebastian was not an easy shot at all.
No. They both had to make some really good shots just to achieve the draw.
See, Bracy can find a groove. I think these boards might be a little sticky to Bracy right now.
Little
Did you
bit.
see that one stop?
Yeah, those bags don't look like they would stick at all.
No.
It seems like they would just be running to the hole, and yet he's finding them to be
Let's see.
very sticky.
Garrison, go up again, Gavin.
Up and over.
And he
how
hit
about
the
that?
backside perfect. And that's the shot you want. You want to make sure you get over those two bags, and he did it perfect.
He's coming in low and hard.
Nice.
Collection there. Well, and again, some great shot making.
Absolutely.
For just a wash. But you know what? As long as it takes to play this game, I'm fine with it because I'm really enjoying watching the ball pitch, and I want to see who's the first one to break the cycle of the funk that they've started in to just a little bit of a degree.
Absolutely. I think Sebastian's been the more solid of the four players so far. And as I say that, guess what happens?
Well done, partner.
I'm sorry, Sebastian. It's Sebastian's mother listening. I apologize.
That's all right. He'll go get it. He'll go get it. Yeah, see, he's pushing it up towards it where he wants it.
Yeah, like I said, they're not out of play. If it's like you said, if it's in their hotel room, it's still not out of play.
That's as close. Yeah, that's as close to out of play as it's going to be. He'll just go in there and grab that corner and take it up.
Look
there
at that.
Yeah.
Man, oh, come on.
It's exhilarating and sickening all at the same time.
It's absolutely not fair. The Hurts are not out. That was their first loss, as somebody's asking.
Oh, okay, great. They went. They're heading into the consolation bracket, but they will work their way back. I'm certain we've not heard the last.
No, I
of
think
the Hurt locker.
We throw two Hurts off and two more comes over to the center stage.
It is sort of like cutting the head off of a hydra. You cut one head off and two more appear.
Absolutely.
Bracy grips it, rips it.
There we go.
Drips it right in the hole.
I tell you what, Gavin has fell into a great team, getting the team up with Gary Bearpaw. Young upcoming superstar there, Gavin Kirk. Oh, and that was another bag that just put the brakes on and kicked left.
Yeah, big missed opportunity there. That center wide open, and he still doesn't slide it up. It tumbles in. So these guys, and you see that a little bit more with the juniors throwing, what appears to be a stick side down because they've got that roll shot or that cut shot or whatever it is. And that one took off on him, completely took off on him. Is that going to be 7?
That is 7 right there. And I'm telling you, Bracy is struggling here. It's not been easy like he normally makes it. And he normally makes everything look easy.
Well, I'll tell you what he needs to do right now. He needs to take his hands off his head and put all that behind him.
Yeah, you got to forget that. You have to forget that in this game. If you remember that, you're giving up 7 more here sometime shortly. Oh, and look at this dirty bag by Sebastian. And Gary's going to keep the hammer down right here. This is going to be right down the center.
No question. Yep.
Exactly right. It's just like sharks smelling blood.
And now, as we mentioned, they both need to forget the last shots they each made. Unfortunately, I think one might be stuck in a little froze head just a little bit. Gary has found his laser focus there. He's got his crosshair set on that hole and 6 to 8 inches in front.
Oh, and this could be another 7-point round, Finn.
That's crazy.
I mean, 14 points in a row. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Gavin said that's okay.
It is because he's forcing to score to minimize any damage there. He's going to require Sebastian to do something that could take his back.
Nice shot.
Very well done. It was 5 spot. And, very well done there because he forced him to say, all right, well, you might have to take one of mine with you if you're going to do what I know you have to do. But 16 on 2, again, not a score that we expect to see here on center court when you see these names up against one another. But we saw some matches like this last night go to 21-20.
Yeah, come all the way back. You think about that, it was 4-2. And in 2 rounds, it's 16-2. That's a big, big swing. And, Bracy's got to be thinking about it, but he's got to let this go. And Gavin's not making it easy on him either.
No, but he is leaving him just enough with those bags. He should be able to get up and around, and he just seems to be piling up in front of the hole. And he's not playing defense. He's just not playing the offense that he wants to play.
There's a nice block there by Gavin.
Pinched him up and over.
There
How
we
about
go.
that?
Now,
That's
come
the
on,
shot.
kid. That's a good
the
shot. That might get him pumped up a little bit.
Up and over.
Oh, and
boy,
he
he
missed
went for it
right.
with quite a cushion, nothing to lose. Why not? Oh, and up and over again.
Yeah.
He drops two in there and leaves one off the
I
side.
think it's going to be 2 for Sebastian and Bracy. I think Gavin's okay with that after missing that airmail.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and that's how it begins. The comeback begins with 1 or 2. And we shall see. They take that first bag back. I'm certain we will not see another. I'll go ahead and say we will not see another dirty bag from Sebastian Barger.
I kind of agree with you. Bag not out of play right there either. But Gary's going to be.
He gave it a little nudge.
Man, he's so smooth.
Oh, it's nicely collected there.
He had stepped out to try to bully that bag out of the way, stepped back in, and still finds the same place. Hitting the same place on the board every time. Nice. Big crowd gathered to watch this doubles match here, too.
And again, this is the Bracket B doubles winner semifinal. Earlier we saw Isaac and Kaleb Hurt lose to Russell Tabers and Craig Ervin. There's another opportunity to grab another deuce. 20-10 was the final in that previous semifinal out of Bracket A, and 16-6 is what we're looking at now. The higher seed, Bracy Blanton, Sebastian Barger down by 10, but as we saw, 2 rounds could change that completely. Do we think it'll happen again 2 in a row? Probably not.
I don't think so.
They'd probably take it in 3.
Yeah. Now, I know Gavin, Bracy and Sebastian are wishing it would go the other way one time. As Bracy looks like he has settled down just a little bit.
Gavin steps out to the edge of the box. Going to come in from the left. He collects everything, cleans it up. And this is where Bracy's had the issue. Sometimes he's not been able to get it to and through the hole.
Yeah, there's a 4-bagger by Bracy.
And a 4.
I thought
and
there's
sure
2 more, and they're climbing back.
And then what do we talk about? The hardest bag to hit is that last, that 8th bag with an open board. The hardest one to get it to go where you want it.
It's like a fever. Everybody in this room has done that a million times. Everybody watching, if they played, I promise you that last bag is hard to get in that hole. And why is it? It's like a little leprechaun smashes it out of the way to the left or right, or somebody throws a string on it and stops it.
Yeah, it's like trying to hit the fairway. You've got 90 yards of fairway and 20 yards of rough, and you find that rough every single time. The harder you fire for that fairway, the tougher sometimes it is to get. Well, he's got to take a couple of chances here, I think, from his end, because he knows that Gary can do that, and Gary returns the favor, to be honest with you. PCB Cornhole, Panama City Beach, throwing out the shout-out. I'm going to guess that's our buddy Ed Runyon.
What's up, Ed Runyon and PCB Cornhole?
Andrea Wilcher on, checking things out. Good to see you there, my dear. Tell our boy we said hey. The wing goes out for Bracy and Sebastian. Oh, there's a little bit of a unintentional roll bag maybe from Gary.
Yeah, I don't think Gary has that roll shot unless it's
an
accident.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Oh.
And now Gary's got a chance to get in there and get them both.
Yep.
Oh, and he leaves one up on the backside.
And he got 1 point.
1 out of all
that.
He
got 2. I think that
yeah, he took it to 16-18. Yeah, he did.
But that drops, he puts him on that 20 spot.
18-8 is what we're looking at now with a higher seed out of the blue lane. Sebastian Barger, Bracy Blanton. Going to have to pull a little bit of a rabbit out of their hat or start putting some bags in the hole one way or the other if they're going to have any shot against what is ultimately going to become a more and more consistent Gary Bearpaw and a pretty rock-solid Gavin Kirk. He's played a really good defensive blocking game so far.
I'll tell you what,
nice
those
bag right there.
Those 2 bags were not very good by Gavin Kirk, and that could be a little nerves kicking in all of a sudden.
Could be. Bracy collected.
And that is a big, big miss by Bracy Blanton.
Too much.
Yes,
too much opportunity.
Yes, and in this point of the game, that is a huge miss.
Kaleb and Isaac Hurt lost the last game in the doubles winner semifinal bracket A to Russell Tabers and Craig Ervin. They will move to the consolation bracket and have to fight their way back. So that's just 1 point added to the total, 19 on 8. And again, we've seen this comeback. We've seen 19-8 turn into 21-20 or 21-19. Lucky Bags well represented here. I see Charlie Case over there eyeballing the match.
Yeah, he's watching his proteges. He's got a couple good ones, too.
Sure does. This far into the I see Ricky made a comment about nerves. This far into the game, you'd think nerves would have subsided by now.
Yeah, but
they tend to become nerves for different reasons.
That's right. I mean, the closer you get to it, the harder it is. Oh, and there's a miss by Sebastian. Gary can finish this match off.
And that is his intention.
And he has one bag left to do it. And there it is.
That's going to do it. Oh, it's fired long, and that is going to do it. Bracy Blanton, Sebastian Barger, the higher seed, running out of the blue lane, taken down 21-8 by Gary Bearpaw and Gavin Kirk, and very reminiscent, as you mentioned, to Cedar Rapids, where we watched this team that was an ad hoc team, to be honest, out of convenience and necessity, really run through the ranks in Cedar Rapids. So congratulations to Gary Bearpaw, Gavin Kirk, taking down the Bracket B doubles winners semifinal. Hilton Convention Center for the American Cornhole Organization World Championships of Cornhole Season 17, where the action is so fast and furious that we actually are joining it in progress here on center court. Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, joined by, as always, as often as he's not playing, I guess, and when I can get him, the Mississippi Ninja, Phillip Barnett. And I'm going to go ahead and guess, Philly Rainier, by the fact that you're joining us here, that your day is done in singles. Is that correct?
In doubles, yeah.
Or in doubles, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
doubles.
so
Singles is tomorrow. I didn't mean to put a curse on it for,
don't do that to
tomorrow.
me.
13th in your 13th in your bracket.
Yeah.
So not too bad. You played real well.
We played some very hard teams today, so we're happy with how it ended up.
All right. Well, I will tell you this right now. What we are looking at here on center court, Rob Green and Scott Stoffregan in the higher seed blue lane, which has almost been a little bit of a
bad luck
lane. Yeah, the higher seeds have had a tough day here in this blue lane so far on center court, firing up against Austin Douglas and Justin Gibson. But Justin Gibson is standing shoulder to shoulder with Scott in the red lane. Scott just finishing off right there and putting a couple up on the board for the, I guess you would say the higher seed. I would say the good guys, but that's not very fair. Just the guys in the blue lane. So Scott throws down to Rob. Rob's getting ready to throw back to Scott, and Justin is standing shoulder to shoulder with Scott. So Justin Gibson, if you are unfamiliar with some of these players, guess what? It's not uncommon that happens to us as well, and this is really kind of the most exciting part of the game for us sitting at center court.
We'll figure it out, I can tell you that.
Well, and you know what? We talk about this all the time. It's always kind of good. I mean, we talk about, it's the Hurts, it's the this, it's the that, it's the Craig Ervins of the world, Russell Tabers, so on and so forth. But you know what? It's kind of good to see folks whose games we are not all that familiar with and be able to celebrate their success here on center court. So we're glad to have you along for the ride, and if you have any comments, as always, feel free to bring them to the page.
Yeah, we hope some of their family members are tuning in maybe to our broadcast for the first time.
This is another Bracket A doubles winner semifinal for the day, so looking to put somebody into that consolation bracket. And 5-on-2, the lower seed, Douglas and Gibson, running on top of Stoffregan and I want to make sure Stoffregan. I apologize, but I'm just doing my best to get it right because you know what? It's new to me, and that's all right. Exciting to see some new games and some new names.
We always talk about the different throws here. Scott has got a really different throw. He rocks back all the way and then fires forward, but he has been right down the middle this whole game.
Yeah, he seems like he's been really consistent, too, with that. It doesn't faze him.
I think my body would be killing me if I did that all day long.
Or you'd have killer calves.
Yeah, killer calves.
Well, and watch him, too, because he comes across. He comes across his body with his leg back. He almost finishes in a ballet position. There's one little mistake that allows a couple points to be posted for the higher seed.
Yeah, and there's that last bag jinx we've been talking about. Philly, how hard is it to throw when you have an open hole and you have the last bag? Is that not one of the hardest shots in cornhole?
I think it is. Like, you're about ready to score, or maybe
Yeah.
even wash, and you're like, okay, just gotta put it in the
It's
hole.
like-
It's just the easiest thing, right? No, it's
just,
not.
No, it's just like the board is moving. And we see it so many times, even here on center court.
Well, I know enough about it to know that if it was easy, I could do it.
Yeah.
And I can't. So it's nice to know maybe sometimes you guys can't either.
That's right. Hey, I promise you, like I told you earlier, you can go out there and poll all these people in this room, and they've done it more than a dozen times.
Finn,
Nice
the
bag
loudmouth
right
for
there.
the ACO, watching center court action with you alongside Phillip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja. Philly Rainier, one of our fine female players who has really, in the last half of the season, we've really seen your name pop up a lot more here and there in doubles and in singles. The co-ed doubles is where we first had an opportunity to spend some time with you on the post-game interview when you won your purple jersey, so that was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
That's where we found that smile, that
yeah.
smile and that enthusiasm that we said that belongs in the
Ooh.
broadcast booth.
That's right. Believe it or not, I sent Finn a message and said, hey, we're missing this right
Yeah,
here.
this
We
is
need
right in
Billy
front
up
of our
here
face.
with us.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, as these guys continue to battle 7-on-4, I just had to go out and buy a new watch today, and the only reason I bring that up is my other one died. I got this. It's not the smartest of watches. It's sort of kind of half smart, but I'm going to say this right now. Watch, you are not the boss of me. It said get up and stand up and walk around. Nope.
You're
I'm
not leaving
moving
right
from this
now,
spot.
buddy. You got to hang in this match with me.
There's no way.
Look at that bag.
Oh,
man.
right there.
Man, that bag is flat and fast.
Little scuba shot there. Scott, I don't think anybody enjoys Scott's shots more than he does.
No, he gets
You know.
excited, I'm telling you.
Everybody, a lot of people just play that stone face and like Gary Bearpaw. You don't know if he threw it into the next room or if he threw it down the hole. You can't tell by the look on his face. Scott celebrates every single throw.
Yeah.
As he should.
This guy throws a good bag, too. He's been down the center most of the game, Austin Douglas. Oh, I like that nice bag.
Yeah, if anybody sneezes, that's all done. That's you.
Oh, nice clean up.
Clean up.
We have a game to 14. And we're not used to seeing these guys on center court. And most of the time, I know your first time on center court, were you nervous?
Oh, yes, I was.
I mean, we're not seeing this now. These four guys, these guys are just pitching bags,
I've got to
man.
be honest with you. This is the third game we've seen today. This is the least amount of nerves I've seen
I
today.
almost agree with that.
I mean, Tabers and Ervin played a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
The Hurts, a little bit nervous.
And Bracey
Bracey,
was
a lot of bit
really
nervous.
nervous, I thought.
Sebastian, a little bit off his
Yeah.
game. Gavin and Gary, a little more steady, but still showed some nerves here and there. And this is just a pleasure to watch. This is just a true dogfight right here.
Man, they're just firing bags and firing them right in the hole.
Now, Philly, I think we've talked about this before, too. When you step up, especially in doubles, when you step up with your partner and you're playing somebody, would you rather play somebody you do know well or you don't know at all? And if it's somebody you don't know, how long does it take you to realize, uh-oh, or woohoo?
I'd rather
Ooh.
play somebody I don't know. And
Really?
that that I'm familiar with at home and stuff. Because coming far away and then, we're going to all be in the same bracket and play each other. Okay, let's do this.
Right.
I feel it's harder to play someone that I know.
You know what? I'm going to agree with Phil. That was almost a good shot by Scott right there.
He almost got a couple there.
I tend to like what Philly just said. I would rather go play somebody I do not know. That, you might play somebody gets in your head
I was
just a
gonna
little
say,
bit.
so because they haven't already built real
Yeah.
estate up in your brain.
That's right.
And I wonder about that because sometimes you've both spoken about players that you consider to be personal kryptonite or a nemesis, if you will, and stepping up against that person. I know it makes it a win against that person even more special,
Yeah.
but it might take you 3 or 4 rounds, and that could be it too late for you to get in there and make a difference if you let them get in your head when they step up.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm impressed with Gibson and Douglas. They're firing bags in the hole. And to get this far in the bracket, they've had to be putting some people down.
Yeah, Allegheny Mountain Baggers, it looks like, showing out well.
Nice bag.
Nice 8-bagger right there.
Yeah. Austin Douglas can throw a satchel for sure. You're talking about nemesis. I have one here. He just came up behind us here just a few minutes ago, Mark Smothers.
Mark Smothers.
It took me 3 years to beat that guy. And when I beat him in Knoxville, I'm pretty sure you heard me back in Cincinnati.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All right, nice bag there from Scott. He took the inside, pushed it out just a little bit there, took Justin's bag out of play. Boy, he's dead up the middle.
Man,
too.
he is.
And that is a long throw. Look, watch the finish of this throw. He comes across his body just a little bit right to left.
He's got that butterfly grip.
A little bit of a flick of the wrist there at the very end, a little final body English. He's going to almost rock back like a pitcher in Major League Baseball as if to say, all right, I'm ready to throw it. Boy, and that's really nicely done, and he puts a couple back up on the board. 11 on 9. The lower seeded Douglas and Gibson over Green and Stoffregan.
Yeah, that was a nice round by.
I think what is encouraging to me, too, is the crowd continues to build around center court, and the crowd continues to build on the digital broadcast as well. We're seeing a lot of, I think, a lot of folks enjoying watching maybe some names that they don't get to see.
That's true.
As often on center court. So,
and I enjoy seeing
nicely
new
done.
people here for sure.
Oh, it's coming in.
Oh,
there
yeah.
it is.
Yep.
Just want to take his sweet time.
That was a mistake. Well, I won't say a mistake, but a missed opportunity.
Yeah, Rob, he walked off.
That was a mistake.
He's going to have another opportunity right here.
Yeah, he's got plenty of room there to the right. I mean, you look, that center of the hole's wide open. Oh, boy.
Now that is a bad bag.
That was a mistake, too. And
yeah.
Pay for it just a little. I mean, just a penny, but that's how it happens. One at a time, two at a time.
Exactly correct.
Although I will say, earlier we saw 7 and a 5, which is not something we expect to see on this court, especially from those players.
Correct. And that was in the Hertz and the Tabors game. And then last game we saw it go from 4 to 16 in 2 rounds.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
And that's against Sebastian Barger and Blanton.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't against you and me.
No. It'd be easy for them then.
Jason Elman-Toller says he coached Gibson and Douglas in basketball, and both were great shooters on the court as well. So, you know what? It's just a different center court. But
absolutely.
They're finding the rim, if you will.
And basketball players tend to be pretty good at this game. Philly, what was your background in sports?
Soccer and taekwondo.
Soccer and taekwondo. Can you flip the bag with your foot?
I've never tried.
Well, it's all about spatial recognition. I mean, we had I forget who it was out here the other night. We talked about the ability to hold up and over, nicely done, nice kind of scoot through bag, and Scott's certainly celebrating that one as he should. But I forget who it was that shot one up and over and twice in a row, and I just looked at you and it was an NBA reference that.
Yeah, you called him Seth Curry.
I think it was it was Steph Curry who can just sink a 3 from the concession stand if he needs to, and I think that depth perception and spatial awareness is so key.
I agree. That's actually my background is basketball.
Hoops. See, I was soccer and I was not taekwondo. I tried jiu-jitsu for about a minute, and just that rolling around it wasn't my thing.
I got jiu-jitsu'd out one night. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I had somebody, come into the class and like, oh, it's jiu-jitsu for fitness. And I had somebody come up and said, you want to roll? And I'm like, I think I'm going to go home.
No.
You're like, I'm out.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm leaving.
And their coach, Gibson and Douglas, man, how about they went back to their basketball days as teammates, and now they're throwing cornhole together. How cool is that?
That was really cool. They stuck together.
And anybody with a logo on the front of their jersey that says Thirsty Boys can't be all bad.
I knew you'd catch up on that.
And Scott, he's wearing himself a championship jersey.
He is.
From a major.
We'll have to check and see where that came from.
Have to go find that one.
But
because
you don't earn those easy, do you, Philly?
No.
Took me years to get one. You got one pretty quick.
Yeah, that Cedar Rapids co-ed doubles was a nice score right there. A purple jersey, unless I make one myself, not in my future, I don't believe.
Come on, Finn.
Best chance I had to get one was this tattoo for the lifer.
One fell.
That's one on.
Man, he threw that bag awful hard.
Super hard.
I don't think he needed to throw it that hard. Oops.
Oh.
And now he can grab a couple points here, possibly.
A little bit of a dog pile built up on the right. Not one of those gettable. Now, what does he try to do? He's not going to try to take that low push, is
man,
he?
that's the Blake Harnett push.
He is.
He almost made it.
Yeah, he almost pulled off a beast.
I think he's going to get at least one. I don't think there's many options for Scott right here to just give up one.
No, I think he's got to go up and over, doesn't he? Yeah.
He's trying.
Oh, and he tried it.
Just long.
Put the reward versus the risk, and it
absolutely
cost him a couple. 18 on 11, our lower seeds. Justin Gibson and Austin Douglas trying to call it a W here on center court.
Yeah.
Bracket A double winner semifinal for those who are just joining us online. If you're checking out the Facebook Live feed, you can also check out the high def feed coming through the link at AmericanCornhole.com. So check that out through the course of the week as we work our way towards Championship Saturday with a host of great matches in new divisions, new to the ACO, juniors, doubles, and many more. So we'll have a full day of action. It should be a lot of fun, and it's what everybody's been working all season to get to this week in particular.
I can't wait, Finn. There's one more to add to your collection.
I'll tell you what. It started out very deliberate with regard to want to win this game. Now they're playing like I don't want to lose this game.
It's 18-11, though, Douglas and Gibson. That blue lane has been a jinx this afternoon. I'm not saying this is over, but that blue lane has been tough to win out of. The blue lane represents the higher seed here. Man, he's got such a nice bag. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with you.
This bag hits and just explodes to the hole.
I am bound and
Did I
determined.
just jinx him again?
You may
Really?
have jinxed
Come
him.
on.
You may have right there.
And he can win the game,
wow.
and that's going to be
That's
it.
going to do it.
Yep.
That is going to do it. Well, how about that? Out of the lower seed red lane again, we see a victory taken away from the higher seed. So congratulations to Justin Gibson, Austin Douglas over Scott Stoffregan, and Rob Green. They are going to advance in the Bracket A doubles winners semifinal. Stoffregan and Green will move on to the consolation bracket, and I am bound and determined to figure out how I know where he got that purple jersey. I need to know, so we will find out, and we will let you know when we come back to center court. Philly, if you can hang around, we'd love to have you, and we'll stick around with more action on behalf of Philly Rainier. Philip Barnett, the Mississippi Ninja. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. More action from the World Championships of Cornhole 17 here in Branson, Missouri at the Branson Hilton Convention Center, coming soon on the ACO Digital Network.
ACO, we are Cornhole.